Hello everyone, how you doing? What's up? What's up? Let me take this off. I feel like I'm in Star Wars. How you doing, guys? What's up? Good evening. It is now 7:10 p.m. over here, somewhere in Texas. Um, the reason why I say I'm somewhere in Texas is because it's for security reasons. Okay, security reasons. I'm not doing it to be a schmuck or anything like that. I'm just doing it for my protection. That is why it is imperative. I just want to throw this in before I get into my subject. Episode 9. Of the pros and cons of restaurants, or maybe the good, the bad, and the ugly restaurants. In episode 8, I talked to you about the ugly restaurants out there. It's so sad. I'm going to try and cover as much as possible. Anyway, I like to protect myself. I don't want to tell people where I'm at, okay? Because let me throw this out there so you guys can be attentive and have your eyes peeled, okay? A lot of people on Facebook, when they go out somewhere, they go to the gym, they go to a restaurant, they go somewhere, they always putting the location where they're at. And I'm going to be very honest with you, that may look innocent and nice, but I'm going to tell you something. You got to be careful, man. I know you're trying to tell your family where you at. That's good. But you don't got to put it on Facebook. Just call everybody, text everybody, and say, listen, I'm in restaurant so-and-so, I'm in the gym so-and-so, I'm in church, or I went on a long trip somewhere, or I went on a long walk on a short pier. That's all you got to do. You don't got to post it on social media, because there are people that are watching. Evil people that will be willing to go and find you and kill you. If you're a woman, they can rape you and murder you, and that's the end of you. There was a young lady few years ago. I was living in Sterling at that time. She was posting herself, real flashy, showing her freaking bikinis, all that crap, showing her curves and all her beautiful face. So it turns out that she was putting, every time she posts something about herself, she put her location where she's at, meaning her home. So then there was this guy that got obsessed. Excuse me. There's this guy, he got obsessed, and he started hitting her. Like, hey, I want to meet you. I'm interested. I want to meet you. You're nice or whatever. Okay. What happened? In the process of time, the guy appeared at her front door. You hear me? The guy appeared in the front door of a house. I hope you get that straight. The guy forced himself in, raped her, and killed her with a hammer. And that was it. I also met another woman. She was from Santo Domingo. And she was, some people are just freaking stupid. She was putting her daughter on top of the bed, taking a picture of a beautiful daughter. She's like 12 or something. And you know, I was in this dating site a long time ago. You know, I was looking for a wife, looking for a companionship, whatever. I don't even trust those websites anymore. I delete them. Piece of crap. Or you meet there is freaking drama, and the ladies from Russia, China, Indonesia, but never over here, near the house. Never. Have you noticed that? They're never near the house. They're not 10 miles away, 5, whatever. They got to be 1,000 some miles away. So now you're stuck with this person, talking and sharing and blah, 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 and bada bing, bada boom. All for nothing. It's not going to nowhere. Anyway, that's why I stopped that BS, because it doesn't make no sense. So if I want to meet somebody, don't worry, I will meet somebody. Anyway, so I told this lady, I said, listen, all due respect to your daughter, but why are you exposing your daughter in this dating site that is only men and women looking for sex, looking for a relationship, looking for or whatever? Why are you putting your daughter on top of the bed, very nice looking, whatever? What the hell are you doing? And she said, oh, you're right. I said, yeah. I should not be even been telling you this. You know better. So she took it off. Anyway, this is what I want to talk. I want to talk about the restaurant. Remember today, episode 8, I was talking about restaurants that are ugly and bad. Some are good, but I'm going to dwell in the bad restaurants from now on, just for a little while, maybe episode 9 and 10, whatever. I just want to expose all this crap and you know, and let you and give you a heads up, so you won't make a mistake, wind up in the wrong restaurant, wind up in the wrong place, and you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna waste all your money. You're gonna throw your money away. You're gonna throw your time away. You're gonna throw your experience away, all because of some freaking moron decided to overcook the food or undercook the food, or something happened, and it's gonna happen. No restaurant in this planet is perfect. Some of them maybe, but not all. Okay? The ones that are perfect are the ones that they have a consistency. They have the same chef. They have the same people working there in the kitchen, that they know what they're doing. They're not changing and switching chef like they're doing with the underwears. They got the same chef for many years with the same people in the back, and they're getting paid, and they get paid good. That's what that's the perfect restaurant I'm talking about. You know the food's gonna come out good. You know they're not gonna disappoint you. What I'm trying to say is that restaurant that I was talking about, this lady I saw on YouTube, that the guy was pleading that people should come to our restaurant and visit her, because she just invested all this money, and she says she cooks great, she cooks good, the food is delicious. I guess some people in the member of the family, some people, they tried the food, they ate the food, and you know, I don't understand. So you know, she's over here almost like in tears. You know, you could see it in her face. And I concluded that the reason why she hasn't got no customers is because maybe it could be 2 or 3, maybe 2 to 3 reasons. I think reason number 2 or 3, I think, is the most prominent one. But number 1 is, since you're starting for the first time, it's not going to be that easy in the second year. Of course, you're going to have people come over and all that kind of stuff, but you're not going to start flying into prosperity. It's going to take time, you know, so you could get exposure and all that kind of crap. But some restaurants are jinxed. They're jinxed by somebody, And sometimes the place, maybe it's not the right place. But I believe that it could be somebody jinxed that restaurant through satanic prayers or through witchcraft, which is commonly done because a lot of time with people that are freaking jealous, they are freaking envious like the devil himself, they love to do witchcraft on people so that those people will not prosper, that they will not go forward. So they're trying to destroy them and destroy their business and everything. And that's exactly what it is. The devil is using these people to destroy other people's prosperity. And that's okay, because you know why? Because what goes around will eventually come around. Amen. Anyway, so you that are doing all this kind of crap, all this witchcraft, BS, go right ahead. Do whatever is in your underwears. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care. Do it. Just do it. Believe me. Trust me. The Bible says, whatever goes around, comes around. Meaning, whatever you sow, you're going to reap. Period. So leave it like that. That's the law of karma. And you cannot change that law for nothing in the world. You bite people, you hurt people, you mess up people, it's going to come back to you triple. Don't play around. Okay? So anyway, there was this there's this restaurant in this a good restaurant is in Pelham, Texas, in Houston. They got 2 locations. They got 3. Now they got 4. They're opening little by little. They're becoming famous. Oh my God, I forgot the name. Anyway, they are Peruvian restaurant, Peruvian Mexican. Somehow they mix it up together, but it mainly more Peruvian, because I've been there a few times, and the food is good. The chicken is good, because the Peruvian people in general, they specialize in rotisserie chicken that falls off the bone. That's what I'm looking for. When you buy a chicken from a Peruvian restaurant, and that chicken, you eat it like with no problem, the meat falls off the bone, that's the right place you should be going. Because the Peruvian people, for what I understand, from many years ago until now, they specialize in making delicious chicken, rotisserie chicken. Believe me, they do a good freaking job. They also got shuffle rice, the shuffle rice that comes with calamari, shrimp, meat, chicken, whatever, and vegetables, whatever. You gotta try these people. But let me talk about a bad restaurant that I went in Jersey City, in Union City, New Jersey, in Bergen Line, Union City. In Bergen Line, it's a long street that stretches, I think 1, 2, maybe, I think 4 miles long, 4, 5 miles. It's all restaurants and stores and a whole bunch of stores, but mainly a lot of restaurants, all the way to the Eddy Street, all the way past that. So this restaurant is on 30 something street, around there. And I walked in and I ordered shuffle rice, and it has calamari inside and everything. And I ordered a piece of chicken, rotisserie chicken. And believe me, it was the worst. It was terrible. I don't know what the heck happened over here. I found out later on that the owner is a Mexican lady. And I said, oh, I get it. So the waiter, the lady, she came to me and said, how's the food doing? And I said, bad. I don't like it. The calamari tasted like rubber. The shuffle rice tasted terrible. The chicken was hard to chew on. It didn't fall off the bone. I don't know what's wrong with you people. She said, oh, no, it's okay, you can talk to the owner. Oh, well, so I went to the owner, and I said, ma'am, and she asked me how was the food. I said, ma'am, I'm very sorry to inform you that your food stinks. I'm very sorry to come out like that, but all due respect, your food is terrible. The calamari on the shuffle rice was horrible. It was like rubber. I don't know who is your chef is. You better change the chef or do something. You're messing up over here. I don't know how the hell people come in here eat that. I just don't know how. It's beyond me. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, Well, I said, yeah, but are you Peruvian? He said, no, I'm not, Mexican. I said, oh, you're Mexican. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Peruvian. So I told her, listen, I recommend, since you're Mexican, try to focus all your energy to do authentic Mexican food, like they do in San Antonio, Texas, and McAllen, and Mexico, okay? Trying to take all your energy, everything that you have in your brain, use it to make your own dish, your own Mexican dish that is authentic, that it could satisfy the palate, that it could really satisfy people, and you could get a lot of customers. So anyway, she just stood like that. Anyway, whatever, I just left. I left. I didn't leave no tip or nothing, whatever. I left. I said, get the hell out of here. Get out of here. I'm not gonna eat this food again. So anyway, this is so crazy, because I said, why? You know what? One day, right, in Staten Island, New York, over there by Daniel Lowe Terrace and Coulson Avenue, in the very corner, that's a little spot for restaurants. And I seen like 3, maybe 2, 3, 4 restaurants come and go in that building. And they don't last no more than 6 months. Don't ask me why. It's not jinx, it's not witchcraft, it's now that, you know what it is? That people, they go open a restaurant without no knowledge, no experience, and nothing. They just want to open it just for the sake to make money. That's all it is. That's all it is. And you got to be careful with that. When you see a place opening, closing, that means something is wrong. So I went there, and the owner is from Czechoslovakia, or Czechs, whatever. And he opened up a Puerto Rican restaurant. And I went, I thought it was this guy. Anyway, so every time I used to go there, I had an issue with the food. And I was complaining. I told the waiter, I said, listen, what the hell is this? Oh, that's this, that's that. I said, listen, a real Puerto Rican dish does not have this. Why are you putting pepper in every different part of the food? Why are you putting pepper? This food does not require pepper, black pepper. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. The guy said, oh, well, I don't know, I don't know what to do. I said, you don't use pepper on arroz con andule, habichuela, beans, stewed beans, whatever, and all that kind of stuff. You don't do that. The only thing that they have real good was el jibarito, the hillbilly sandwich. It was a plantain, those big plantains. They used to squeeze them like that and make them like a big sandwich, like a big toast. And they used to put pernil, pot roast in the middle with, I forgot what it was. It was freaking delicious. That's the only thing that was good there. Everything else sucks. And the only dessert that they had good there was a tembleque. That was the only thing, 2 things that they had good there out of everything. So one day I went and I asked for a pastele. A pastele is a typical dish in Puerto Rico that we eat every year, especially in celebrations. So when I got it and I started eating it, it tasted like farina. And I went, yo, what is this? The guy came. I said, what happened? Listen, what is this? Oh, it's pasteles, Puerto Rican pasteles. I said, this is not pasteles, bro. This is farina. You giving me farina? I might as well go to my house and buy farina and make it off this. So anyway, the boss came, the owner came, and he said, what's the problem? I said, sir, what the hell is this? He said, oh, those are Puerto Rican pasteles. I said, sir, all due respect, this is not Puerto Rican pasteles. This is farina. You're making farina. And he said, we mean farina. You're doing it the wrong way. You're supposed to grate it with your hands so it could come out the texture that it's supposed to be. And then he goes, oh my God, I didn't knew that. And I said, and then I told him, yeah, but you went to Puerto Rico to learn. So who taught you this? He said, well, I don't know. I said, listen, you need to get a machine they sell in the Bronx, $125, and that is going to solve the problem. And he said, oh yeah? Where? I said, in the Bronx. Anyway, I left and I never went back. And that place didn't last no more than 2 weeks, and it was closed. It was gone. And that's to show you that my friend, remember I told you about my friend that he had a restaurant in Coquí, that he and his wife were cooking together, and she was making all this chicken and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, look what happened. She had to go to school in somewhere in 23rd Street or 14th Street in New York. There's a school for people that want to open restaurants, so they gotta pass a test. Tests like sanitary tests, cleaning tests, a whole bunch of tests in order to get a license to open a restaurant. You cannot just open a restaurant and start working there and start making chuleta or whatever. You cannot do that. You got to go to school. You got to study. I don't know for how long, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then you got to take a big test. So what happened, listen very carefully, my friend's wife, she went to that school because she had to take that test. The city said you got to take that test if you want to cook over here. She said, okay, no problem. And she passed the test. But look what happened. There was some Dominican ladies that they were asking my friend if they could give them the answer for the test. And my friend said, excuse me? Also, you want to cheat? You want to jump ahead of everybody and pass the test without actually studying and reading, and you just want to open up a restaurant? I said, get the hell out of here. You better get down and study yourself and read, and then you pass the test. I'm not going to give you no freaking answers. So you got to watch out, because a lot of people that they open restaurants, they're supposed to go to school, and most of them, they cheat on the test, all because they want to open a restaurant and make money. That's all it is. All they care, they want to make money. They want to do some kind of crap over there and make you think that it's from their country. It is not. It's just a piece of crap. That's all it is. So be very careful with that. Anyway, I'm going to throw this in. As episode number 9. And tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to get into more details about restaurants, because it's very imperative that we get very informed about restaurants, because number one, you don't want to have a bad experience like I've been having all my life. And thank God, not anymore. I mean, in the past, back in the 80s, in the 90s, it was terrible. Very terrible. And I'm telling you, I went through a lot. I got sick like a dog. You gotta be careful. Some people, they just opening up a restaurant, a little storefront restaurant with all the decorations, like whatever, and they don't know how to cook squat. Okay? They just cook in there just to go. They got a guy from upstairs in the second floor to come downstairs and make something. That's what it is. So you gotta watch out. You gotta be careful. You gotta open your eyes. You gotta watch, and you gotta study things, and you gotta be careful. And you don't let nobody take you for a fool, man. Okay, God bless, guys. Take care.